Hello there, Go-Go Kid teachers, VIP kid teachers, potential teachers. I had a student cancel at the last minute, but another one coming up in a little bit. So I thought since I'm getting paid for this time anyway, why not take it and do a little bit of work and create a video to put out to you. I thought since I don't have much time, what I would do is recall from memory to the best of my ability some of the sounds that are in our English language that they don't have in the Chinese language. So it is difficult for the students to discriminate them and produce them. This may be why you have some sound pronunciation differences when you're working with them. So it's just helpful to sometimes know that, oh shoot, yeah, this is a sound they're not familiar with. And so I'm going to need to take a little extra time in working on it with them. All right. The R sound in English and in Mandarin is different. They do have an R sound, but it's a little bit different. It's made more to the front of their mouth, more like an L. So it takes a while for them to really hear and get the tongue placement. And R placement is a very, very difficult, one of the hardest ones to teach and to correct in English. So it's understandable that it's difficult for them. And because the tongue is up near the front of the mouth, close to the L sound, there is often an RL substitution. So we just work on it, and I advise them to pull their tongue back a little bit and just keep listening, and eventually they modify their tongue and articulators, tongue, lips, teeth, to match that sound. All right, some of the other sounds that they are not familiar with are the V sound, V, and the Z sound, Z. So there's a lot of times an S substitution for the Z because they're placed in the same spot, but the Z uses voice, the S does not. Otherwise than that, everything else is the same, but because they don't have a Z, they'll often use the S sound. V and F, the same thing. Sometimes they'll use an F for a V. Again, your mouth, your articulators, as we would say in speech therapy, are all in the exact same position. One just uses your voice, one does not. So I put my hand on my throat and I'll go to help them kind of see that there's a vibration happening in the throat on that. Okay, a few other sounds that they don't have is the zh sound and the ch sound. To make the ch sound for them, what they'll often do is substitute the sh sound. So I'll go shh, ch, shh, ch, because it's like a T and an SH together is really what our CH sound is. So I'll kind of do that punch to help them realize they have to get a hard glottal sound there at the beginning, and that seems to help them out a lot. Finally, there is no TH, voiced or voiceless. So the like think or the like that. Again, these are your articulators, your mouth, your lips, your tongue, everything are in the exact same spot for the voiced and the voiceless TH. One uses your voice, one does not, but they don't have this sound at all. So there's often an S substitution in this case. And so what I always tell my kids to do is bite your tongue, and I'll stick my tongue out and bite it and over exaggerate and go think, and then get them to put their tongue out and make that sound first and then say the rest of the word. And they will go back and forth for a while and then get it right and then get most of them wrong and then get it right and get less wrong, and eventually they'll get to the point that they stick that tongue out and they're so proud of themselves. So I hope that that helps you a little bit. My understanding is they also don't, in terms of vowels, have that ah sound like an apple. But I've never noticed my kids have a difficult time getting that sound. In terms of another vowel sound, the I's and the E's, they don't have the I sound. So they'll substitute the E. So instead of I. So if it's a pin, they'll call it a pen. So I always just try to rise myself up because your tongue kind of lifts a little bit in your mouth. So I'll just go I, 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 I. And that seems to be helpful to them. Finally, the N sound they do have, but they only have it at the very end of a word. So an N within a word is going to be difficult, and they don't have the R and G sound, the ing sound. Um, that maybe in some forms of Chinese. I've heard that in some dialects they do have it. So some might be familiar with it and some might not. But I think that's all that I can remember off the top of my head. But I hope that's helpful for you to at least know which sounds are going to be trickier for them when they go to produce them, and a few little tips to help you teach some of those sounds to your students. Have a wonderful day. Bye.